Have you ever been trying to draw a head and you just can't figure out where do you put the brows, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, etc.? In this episode of Quick Tips, we're going to figure that out. Alright, right off the bat, we're going to start by drawing a circle for that top cranial mass. Next, we're going to divide that circle in half down the center, and then I like to leave a little bit of a line trailing off at the bottom, because that's where we're going to put the chin eventually. Now, it's important to note, you don't want this to be, ultra accurate or super spot on, because no one's super symmetrical, but if you do need to check, you can do something like this or use your fingers to get a decent measuring. Mine's a little off, so I'm going to go ahead and move that line and fix it. So here's an important note to always draw light when you got something rough like this going on. Once you got it the way you like, we move on to the next step. From here, what we're going to do is cut off the sides of that circle because no one has a super round ball head, right? So this is kind of where you get to choose the thickness of the head that you want, but I'd recommend cutting off about a third. From here, you're going to go ahead and connect those points together. Now, you can use a ruler and keep these super straight. I like to keep them organic and rounded because we want to remember we're drawing on something with form, a head, and, it's not flat. After this, we're going to divide that box in half. Now, this one's a little more important to make sure that you have about even halves here. So go ahead and use a tool or your fingers to kind of measure that and get a pretty decent accurate measurement. I had to make a little correction on mine. From here, you're going to take the measurement of one of those halves and you're going to move it down, and this is going to get you your chin line. Now, this is just kind of a basic drawing, so you can keep that chin curved, round, straight, whatever you want to do with it. Just set it up like this. Now, if you're noticing that your chin isn't as low as you'd want it to be, mess around with cutting off more of that circle from the side. So going back a couple steps and then seeing the more narrow that box gets, the longer your chin will get if you do these measurements correctly. So obviously our next step would just be to connect that chin to the head that we're building. Chins vary. They're going to be round, they're going to be hard edged, whatever they are. So this is kind of up to your preference of how you want to create this. So if you take that bottom third measurement now and you cut it in half, that's going to give us the bottom of the lip. So you can go ahead and draw in a realistic lip if you want. I'm just going to draw a placeholder and we can fix it up and make it pretty later. So after you find the lip, the next thing is we're going to find the nose, which is going to be the top part of that bottom third. So how I like to draw the nose is I'm going to create a line just above that red line that you guys see on my drawing there. And then I'm going to kind of come in and create a little wedge shape underneath it. We want to remember that the nose sticks out, so you got a point where the nose kind of folds in and comes back towards where it connects to the face. So that's kind of what we're indicating here. Before we can fully finish the nose, there's something that we got to find first, which is going to be our half line of the whole head, otherwise known as our eye line. Once you get in that eye line, you can go ahead and connect the nose to the brow line. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know too many people with straight up and down heads, so this is a chance for you to come in and kind of fix that, maybe round off some of the corners. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and find the ears. Now, the ears are pretty simple. They're just the top of the ear is on the brow line, and the bottom of the ear is going to be on the nose line. So now we got to find the eyes, and the general rule is that 5 eyes should fit across the head. I include the width of the ears in this. Some artists don't, depends who you're looking at. Now, my tip too is the edge of the nostrils are going to be where your tear ducts of the beginning of the eye start, so you can use that as a starting point and then spread your points out from there. Now you just got to fill in the eye. So fun fact for the eye, the highest point of the top of the eye is going to be closest to the nose, and the highest point or the lowest point here for the bottom of the eye would be closest to the side of the face. So you should be able to do a cross through and have a semi-accurate eye shape. So now that you got the eyes, you can go ahead and put in the eyebrows. Remember, the eyebrows are 3 sides, so you got one that goes up, one that goes about straight, and then the other that comes back down around the eye. From here, you've completed the head, but I'll give you guys a couple bonus tips. So once you go ahead and start adding some details, maybe you finish the lips a little bit more, the corner of the lips, right where the lips kind of fold in and tuck into the face, if you drag a line straight up from there, that'll give you about the location of your pupils. If you guys were wondering what this line is up here, that's going to be the beginning of your hairline. So if you guys know anyone with a widow peak, that's where that widow peak is going to start. Last tip, if you guys take from about the ball of the nose to the chin and you drag it down, I found that most often that's going to give you about the placement of the clavicle, and you can kind of connect the neck from there. I'll leave you guys on this note. I just want you to remember that this is a blank canvas for you to do whatever you want with. Take this, turn it into a male, a female, exaggerate it, make it bigger, smaller, longer, wider. Whatever you guys want to do, this is just a starting point with some basic proportions that are meant for you to take and make it your own.